Hello, world. Welcome to our podcast where women in tech meet, charge up, and share their journey. From career breakthroughs to navigating challenges, with every episode, we bring you a story of leadership and perseverance. So, ready to hit start? Let's power up. Success. Success isn't just about climbing the ladder, it's about knowing when to rebuild it. And our guest today is a perfect example of that. Bharathi Tadepalli, a leader filled with strength and self belief. She has never let self doubt hold her back, and her career reflects the power of unconventional choices, determination, and continuous learning. With 25 years of experience, she has led remarkable career transitions, proving that growth has no boundaries. She is a passionate advocate of women in tech and a dedicated contributor to the community. Welcome, Bharti. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you, Shefali. Very nice of you to speak about me. Thank you for having me.
So, Bharti, your journey into tech is anything but traditional. You started with commerce and then you pivoted. So, what led to that shift?
Well, I would like to add further.
Yeah.
With the commerce background, and for a brief period of time, I was a housewife
Okay.
taking care of my small son, and then I shifted my gears towards learning this IT. And 100% I completely give credit to my husband, and who did a market study then those days that IT was trending, and and we both jumped together into this arena.
Wow.
And then we started going into the details of the courses, and that's how we got super excited, and we completed the course together. And that's how my journey started into this field of information technology.
So you graduated as an commerce student.
Yes,
And
I
then-
did masters in my commerce.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And got married, and then came here to Hyderabad. My whole academics was in Pune.
Pune. Okay.
And then after coming here, it was completely a game changer for me, along with my husband.
Okay. You both were together in this journey, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
He being a government's officer, he also spent some time doing this course, and he encouraged me, and he also felt that I had an aptitude towards this, and then we both joined the courses of computers then, way back in 1998.
1998. And this is when like your entry into tech actually
Correct,
happened.
Correct.
So what was your like? We can go in maybe just a bit of chronologic, like where you started your first job.
I started my post the course. I got enrolled into a startup organization. It was a small organization, and it was complete the whole of SDLC. I had to be involved in, and we had to go to the client's place and take the requirements, come back to the office, put the design, and then start coding into it and get a review with the client. And it was typical, we used to travel a lot along to the client place, and great experiences and insights also shared, because some were ruthless as well in the journey.
Yeah.
It was not easy going, and it was a manufacturing organization where we had been to, and certain terminologies and nuances in the manufacturing industry were quite new, and we were learning in the process, be it in terms of procurement and those buzzwords and all. We had learned, and then we put it into the solution, and that was the first of a kind. And though I was getting very excited, and I used to get so involved into the work, it used to be very late nights as well, and I used to reach home during the midnights. It was during those days my husband used to be taking care of my son, and reaching home and again seeing that, how I'm managing that part, and again going back, and we had to rush, be on the time and be with the client. So that was quite challenging and quite aggressive, of course, with the support of the family, as well as management was also very helpful and supportive
Yeah.
in the journey. That's how it happened, and it was a brief period as a developer.
Mhm.
And slowly, then, my son was not keeping well, and then I thought I should shift my gears towards testing,
Mhm.
and I went back to the course where I did to that organization, and I requested, like, if there is any kind of a 9 to 5 kind of a job there.
Okay. So you wanted to basically balance it better.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
So, and thankfully, they showed me the route towards the testing in that organization. It was Neotrax
Mhm.
organization. It
Mhm.
was a .com company. It was more towards the health care related portal was developed, and the complete relating to those aspects were developed there, and it was completely testing, manual testing.
Mhm.
That's how
Mhm.
I started my journey. And it was a brief 2 years, and it was quite jolly ride, I can say, because I was able to balance
Yeah.
my work and personal life, and I got completely passionate towards testing, because it was just breaking the system and going inroads, and then challenging the developers. Then, hey, why did you raise the defect here? Why did you raise a bug here? So we used to find it quite important. People are reaching out to us and asking us why this defect,
Yeah.
and it was a good one. And because of the .com crash, the management was very supportive, asking us to explore opportunities outside the organization, because they had to close it.
Okay.
And thankfully, again, with the consultants' help, I could join Vandenberg.
Mhm.
It was called as Vandenberg, Knee, Cordis. Now it
Yeah.
is called
Multiple
as
names.
Open Text. Now it is called as Open Text. And there also, I was part of the UAT team, which
Mhm.
was like user acceptance testing team. It was a product testing group, and there also we had an edge towards, all the product managers used to reach out to us for any kind of deficiencies in that product, and we used to sign off whether this product is through or not. So
Yeah, I think
again,
that's
we
a very
had,
critical stage of
yes,
anything going out.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we had an edge to give our sign off, and people used to just look forward to that kind of a report, which was very critical. And during the process, though we were involved in the manual testing, we dabbled our hands. At least I dabbled my hands in automation. That time it was just the beginning automation, and the performance testing as well. The Seek products, be it Silk Test and Silk Performer,
Mhm.
and we used to provide that kind of reports. And it was during those days that I had to present to the one of the execs on the automation piece,
Okay.
and
So, I mean,
the
automation.
feasibility
Got
study
it.
of whether these products can be automated or not.
Mhm.
So it was quite challenging and very new thing to me. And those days, my manager supported me, and it was the first kind that I came up with that kind of a presentation, and it was reviewed, and it was acknowledged, and I was appreciated for it. And eventually, we onboarded those tools into our organization, and from there,
So you influenced like to how this automation space can
yeah,
be
based on
made
the
bigger.
feasibility study
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
kind of the stats what we brought
Hmm.
back, and we presented those details, it caught the attention of the management, and they felt, yeah, maybe it is a need of the hour for us to automate. And eventually, even the performance testing, though I was not involved, a different team was there.
Hmm.
But I was happy, and I was glad that I was part of that kind of a journey there,
Yeah.
being part of the feasibility study. And eventually, my manager, he himself encouraged me, now that you have been part of the product organization, why don't you just explore the service world? So that's again where I joined Virtusa.
Okay.
And it was one of the it was Sri Lankan based company, and many accounts were happening, and again the buzzwords, new things, the pre-sales, sales part of it, and estimation of it, and all these nuances I was not aware of.
Yeah.
And while I was working in the product based organization, so got exposed to this kind of the way the placemat was, and started making inroads and testing. Definitely, I gained a lot of confidence, and I gained that expertise. People started looking up to me because I was able to talk everything, anything about the testing there. And then they asked me to travel to US, be part of the client there, and provide my insights and expertise and support them. It was supposed to be a brief period, and I had to stay back for at least 4 months, be with them, and then came back and moved multiple accounts there. All different accounts, because always I got those kind of opportunities whenever I felt, and I used to go back to my manager saying, I'm good with here. How can I challenge more?
Yeah.
So always
So
that
you were
has
like
been
looking for more.
more
Yeah.
challenges.
Yeah.
So always new accounts, and then I had to give a pause to my career there. I joined a very small organization. It was a
Mhm.
BPM organization, because my son was almost into the 10th class, and it was very brief period. It is a UK based organization, and somehow I was not able to. They were not able to leverage my expertise, because it was completely, the work was coming from there, and we had to just drive the things whatever was coming
Yeah.
from there. So it was just getting driven.
Yeah.
So it did not motivate me further, and then I was asked to join. It
Mhm.
was number one testing company, and I happened to join there, and it was also a very great experience, because most of the leaders were in, and I had a great rapport, and that's how the journey until the service based companies happened. And then eventually I joined a captive organization, and I joined as a QA manager there, and that's how currently I'm part of that organization. And many roles I have transitioned to, and many big accounts I have been part of. Moving from QA manager to the the delivery lead of both QA and development teams, and then going across the different other portfolios to get the a handle of how the end-to-end cycle goes. While I have been associated with the lending portfolio until the servicing, and then eventually coming back to the business management
Mhm.
team,
Mhm.
wherein I jumped my role as IC as well,
Okay, so you
back to IC.
transitioned to IC as well. Okay.
Yes. And then, it was for a brief period, and my manager was saying, honeymoon period is over.
Over.
Come back, and we
Yeah.
need you. And that's how, again, transition to the manager role. So that's the brief about, how I transition to different roles and the organizations. It's always like every 2 years I make it a point
Hmm.
how I'm challenging myself, because I get a fear that I shouldn't be complacent.
Yeah.
I should be always ahead in the game, and be a kind of a motivation even to the team, and always be walk the talk.
Yeah. I think this has been an incredible journey, and the point that you called out, that you have been always thinking ahead of the time, right? Which is basically getting ready for the future. And irrespective whether it is through role transitions or moving through organizations, like even when you are at the top, at the peak of your
Yeah.
career, you have made these changes. So that shows the point that I was calling out, the unconventional choices. Not everyone is like
Yeah.
open to do this. Very incredible journey. Yeah, let's move forward. We'll deep dive into more things.
Sure.
Yeah. So with all of these transitions, I think the bigger one, which is basically transitioning from a QA lead and then leading development teams, building and driving an entire engineering function is a significant leap. So did you ever face moments of doubt?
Absolutely, and it's a great question, Shifali. Yes, to oneself, which is me, and as well as to others who were associated with me. Um, and I actually focused on working on my strengths, um, because I had to slowly build that kind of trust and confidence across the stakeholders, because people were just watching me. It
Yeah.
was just all eyes on me. I felt so. And how would she do it? And it was definitely, my QA team, they felt uh, Bharti has made a difference. It was first of a kind. A person is moving from QA to development,
Yeah.
and they felt elated, and it was like a path paved for them.
Right.
And the kind of, the whole responsibility, it was quite heavy there. And gradually I started working with the team out there, started doing the deep dive sessions, trying to understand the details of what they work on. At the same time, parallelly learning at my end, looking at what actually the technology talks of. I need not be hands on, but at least I need to be at the level of providing my insights, and started playing a role of a value seeker, wherein I used to listen to them, and just ask for what else ideas we could do there here different. And that's where they used to have that kind of conversations, and it used to give me some kind, this is an opportunity, and I used to have extensive discussions, and it used to result into an idea. So, and that's how, slowly I started building the trust with
So it
them.
was like learning with the team.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And completely building the trust. And whenever I used to provide my inputs and ideas, and they used to agree to it, which was like, yes, I'm slowly cracking it.
Yeah. That's a validation. That
Correct,
yeah.
correct. And it's always also good to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And there have been instances where I have been ignorant and I was not aware of. And I used to be open with them, saying, hey, I don't know, I could be dumb here, maybe you can enlighten me.
Yeah.
So they used to help me but initially there was a little bit of apprehensions from the team as well there. But eventually it got released into building a trust and that kind of confidence, and started proposing ideas even to the stakeholders. And they were quite receptive to that kind of thoughts. And I made a mark, is what I felt. That was the spark moment.
Yeah. So I think you're earning trust within the team and also earning the
Yes.
trust with stakeholders
Yes.
was the key.
Yes.
And the point that you called out, that starting with deep dive, being a active listener in the beginning,
Yes.
I think that really helped you.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
And also, whenever I used to learn something at my end, and I used to question them, hey, is this the way? I came across some kind of an article or something around this technology. Is it really happening there? So probing also, they used to open up. Otherwise, it should not be like one side kind of a conversation.
Yeah.
And they close the doors. Hey, she doesn't know much. There is no much deal there.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't look that way. So opening up and building that kind of confidence is also very important. And it worked to my, because I had a little bit of strengths around that, and I worked towards that.
Yeah. And in fact, there must have been like your curiosity to learn things.
Of course,
Otherwise,
yes.
it would. Yeah.
Of course, yes. And actually, I did have filed patents around those time, and even that kind of technical curiosity also was one kind of area where they were also looking up to,
Yeah.
saying, hey, she has done some patents around it, and probably she has. So it was like that way they were judging. There
Yes.
was judging of the things, as well as they were trying to understand whether she really has that kind of caliber to lead us, and take us to some kind of a because we need to show that kind of career progression path to them as
True.
well, being
Yeah.
a leader, and that's the kind of responsibility. And as delving more into these nitty gritty things and going deep dive
Hmm.
helped me and eventually the team.
Yeah. Did you also like had a mentor through this journey of transition?
I did have mentor and fantastic mentors. I was fortunate to get mentors who have been heading the large teams,
Hmm.
and I used to express out saying the kind of experiences I used to share with them, and they used to guide me through. Providing certain experiences at their end and the
Yeah.
insights, and how I should be showcasing that kind of visibility. They used to guide me through. So that eventually definitely has helped me immensely there.
Wow, Bharti, this must have been an exhilarating ride for you. And on top of it, I think balancing motherhood and leading these teams, how did you navigate it?
Definitely, if I have to just go back and how I had this journey, definitely I feel it's not. I can say it is more of adjustment and adaptability.
Yeah.
That's how I would use those two words. And obviously, as we all know, there is no one size fits all, because all of us, in being women and embracing the motherhood, it's not easy, and we have to have a lot of patience and to see how we are growing at the same time in the career. And family support has definitely been a key element in my journey, to say. Uh, if I have to put it like, I happen to attend Grace Hopper event, and I have been part of it for at least 3 years, consecutive years. I have been part of, and there was a storyteller, and I would like to just quote it.
Yeah.
He mentioned, "Great things happen when you have persistence and perseverance. Great things happen when you are unafraid.
Yeah.
Great things happen when you are in uncomfort zone." So that got registered in my mind, and and I felt, I keep encouraging my teammates who are embracing the motherhood also, to see that we have to have that kind of motto, and we have to get going and always be ahead in the game, and constant learning, and at the same time balancing it with the family is the key there. And it's okay to be imperfect as well.
Hmm.
So sometimes if you're dropping the ball here at professional life, it's okay. We
Yeah.
are not always perfect. So
Yeah. So it's more about like staying true to your
yeah,
goal and having that perseverance.
correct.
At the same time, I think the point that you called out is not thinking about being perfect everywhere
True. Yeah,
because that's not practically possible.
correct.
So having that also in at back of your mind when you're balancing things
Yeah,
is important.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And I definitely give this credit to my husband
Yeah.
and rest of my family as well. And I'm completely grateful, incredibly grateful to them, that I am here. The success of my professional journey, I owe it to them as well.
Can't agree more. Great things definitely happens when you step out of your comfort zone. How has this mindset accelerated your path to senior leadership?
Yeah. Definitely interesting question, and I would love to answer this because I have been, associated with few of the networking groups, and which helped me in my professional and personal growth. And it has been my constant endeavor also to join senior women leaders sessions, and always observing them sharing their insights, and what led them to grow to a senior leader roles, and the kind of challenges what they have experienced. I used to have them as my key notes, and those were the key takeaway items for me. And I made an effort to get aligned to wonderful mentors. Every year, always has been, look out for a new mentor, and take their guidance, and share my experiences so that they are able to guide me through, which will help me in my career journey. And at the same time, I used to go back to my teammates and budding women leaders, share those insights as well. So it was give and take kind scenario. So that the kind of experience what I was going through, I wanted them also to look at it, and see that how they are building their professional journey. It's always important not to get mentored. You need to mentor as well, and leave a footprint. And I always strongly believed it's always not that getting mentored, and you also need to be a mentor to someone. And I always made it a point to mentor budding leaders, not only from women, for women, even men as well, because it's always good to get the perspective from the other gender, and learn from them. So mentoring is not one side, and it's a great powerful tool which I believe in. And you need to lay down that kind of a footprint and legacy, because it's always a testimony, and tomorrow someone also shares what they have learned from the leader. So this these are the few areas which has helped me. And always it's good to be aligned with a sponsor, who is able to take your ideas to the next table, and he or she is able to support you, and we are able to share our thoughts and present it with confidence. And if they get executed, it is quite a motivational thing there. So I made it a practice that I have a mentor, I have a sponsor in my journey, who will help me in my career path, and so that I am able to thrive and take up the new roles, and which has helped me bringing this kind of visibility. Definitely it goes to the eyes of the senior leaders, and they are able to vouch for you, and they are able to encourage you and support you in building that kind of a career path.
Like feeling empowered and also empowering others through this mentee mentor uh, relationship, right? At the same time, I really like the point that you called out. It was not gender specific, which most of the times we have seen. It's like it's a group. Either women are helping each other, or it's the other side. Having this common group is also important, because you get to hear diverse opinion, diverse thoughts, diverse challenges.
Yes.
Yeah.
And even we learn in the process. And we are able to share those insights even to the other set of people. That's how the journey continues, I feel so, because if I look back, there are many mentors who have groomed me. And if I look back again from the mentors angle, I keep hearing few of the leaders are getting going into different roles. Uh, I always beam with joy and with pride, because I have been part of their journey. That's how I take that kind of motivation.
Yeah, you had your footprints there, maybe. You
Yes.
left your
Yeah.
footprints.
Yes.
Yeah. So you spoke about mentor and sponsor. Just for everybody, how do you define them?
Sponsor is not necessarily, he needs to guide you,
Yeah.
or they look for your experiences,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
there is a format which is quite formal. Sponsor is a person where I can, unlike mentor,
Yeah.
which I mentioned earlier. Sponsor is like, if I am going with some kind of a thought and idea, um, I get one kind of a vote from that sponsor, and I should be quite confident. And the sponsor should also be in sync with my kind of a thought.
Yeah. The
So not
idea matching
necessarily,
should happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So always I used to look for a sponsor outside the
Hmm.
zone wherever I was involved in. Like if I was part of a portfolio, I used to never reach out to a leader who was part of that portfolio,
Right.
but from a different portfolio,
Hmm.
and get that kind of a perspective. And it's quite informal. Just share, and you are quite very free. You're open and free to share that kind of an idea, and you get to know where are you lagging, and if the sponsor will go and talk about you in a different forum.
Yeah. So it's not
So
like
it's
feeling.
not like, it's my
Yeah.
responsibility. I need to vouch for this person. It's not that way.
Hmm. Hmm.
But the sponsor will just talk about you, irrespective of any kind of, okay, hey, I am the mentor, or no.
Yeah.
That kind of titles or the roles are not
Not
there.
there.
And they are just sharing, hey, I heard about this idea. So and so person, had presented it to me. Let's table it and let's have that kind of a discussion. So I used to reach out to those set of leaders, and I treat them as sponsors, because they invite me to that forum, and then I am
Yeah.
able to talk about it, present it, and people are able to, if they are receptive to it or they have their insights, we discuss, deliberate, and work on it.
Yeah. I think this is a great takeaway, like for all of us. Most of the leaders who are trying to grow, I think it's one of the key process that we should follow. And in fact, like it can help you even when you are getting calibrated,
True.
because you will have things
True.
which might come from the person who have actually who has been your sponsor.
Yeah, and,
So
and it
yeah,
is not very conscious kind of a
correct.
decision. It is
Yes.
unconscious bias, as they
Yes.
say.
Yeah.
It's always that kind of a, area where they tread into,
Mhm.
and they are able to talk about you
Yeah.
very openly. And the moment it clicks and they are sharing about
Yes.
it, that means you have done your part.
Yeah. Yeah. It's basically also like spreading your credibility.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have been talking a lot. Let's do something where we see the fun side of yours.
Sure.
So
I'm
the-
game for it.
we have planned a rapid fire segment. It'll be list of questions. Whatever comes the first on your mind, just speak up, Bharti. So should we go ahead?
Yeah.
Ready to start?
Yeah, I'm game.
If you have to name your life like a movie, what would it be? Rapid fire.
Sound of music.
Sound of music. Wow. Coming to the second question. If you had an extra hour in the day, what would you do?
I would have good sleep. Yes, I need that extra hour.
Yeah. If you could have dinner with any historical figure,
Would like to have dinner with Subhash Chandra Bose.
wow, great choice. What's one tech trend you think is overhyped?
AI.
And one that is underrated.
Under is, if you ask me, it is blockchain.
Yeah, I think it has not been explored
Yeah.
much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could automate one daily task, what would it be? You're bringing the
Cooking.
automation piece here.
Cooking.
Cooking. Okay. Yeah. Do you regularly cook?
Yes,
Okay.
I love to cook.
How would your kids describe your job in the funniest way?
Breaking into the things.
Breaking into the things. Yeah, I
Yes.
think that really matches.
Yeah.
Let's do okay, so we'll do a leadership myth busting round.
Sure.
So I'll say a leadership cliche. You tell me if it is true or false.
Okay.
The first one, leaders need to have all the answers.
Nope. False.
False. It's okay to be comfortable in a role.
Nope. Not always.
Women should wait until they are 100% ready before applying for the leadership roles.
No. Be a risk taker.
Very good. And I think all of this reflects to your journey.
Yes.
Okay. What's the one thing women in tech should stop doing?
I think women in tech should not wait for someone to tell them, hey, you need to go and present it now, or you have an idea, you have to talk about it now. They need to drive the things at their end rather than getting driven. So women in tech should not get driven, but they need to drive
Okay.
and aim for seat at the table.
Aim for seat at the table.
So women in tech should be at the driver's seat and always look for seat at the table.
I think that's much needed. Bhate, with 25 years of experience, transitioning through multiple leadership roles, and like have done so much in your career till now. You're still taking courses, attending conferences, and trying to stay hands-on. What keeps you motivated?
Good question, Shikari. Staying relevant is the mantra, which I stick to it. Attending conferences and sessions, I always deliberately take time out, wherein I am able to get some ideas and perspectives, and I am able to table it and bring it back. And what excites me more is if I am able to build a prototype on that and again share it with my boss, and which excites me the most. And if it is transitioning or transforming into an execution piece, nothing like it.
Yeah, I
So
think that
it's
joy is
always
like
with that kind of a mode. I always make it a point to attend the conferences, because we always get to know something new.
new.
And as I mentioned earlier, staying relevant is always important and critical, and which has been the mantra for me.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing that you called out, doing the prototype, feeling the joy of seeing something
Yes.
really turning into a practical execution piece, right? It's, I think the joy is
Yeah.
definitely unlimited
Sharing
there.
that kind of
Yeah.
a baby to the
Correct.
world,
Yeah.
it gives definitely a kind of motivation.
Yeah. And in all of this, I'm sure like keeping hands on, attending all of these conferences, like do you really get any free time? And what do you do apart from work?
Yeah, I do take out time. As I mentioned earlier, adaptability and adjustment is always the factors which I have been aligned to. So I am a movie buff, and
Wow.
thanks to my husband, he changed me into that kind of a role. And yes, during my spare time, I get involved in reciting Vedas. As
Okay.
well, recently I got enrolled into Bhagavad Gita. So those set of courses, they give immense peace
Mhm.
and lot of reflection towards yourself as a personality, as well as looking beyond. Um, these are the few things which which help you. And of course, I have been for many years doing Surya Namaskar,
Mhm.
and I almost do 108 in an hour time.
Wow,
So
this is so good.
I always, every year I tend to raise the bar to decrease the 1 hour time, but not sure. I am not able to reach the target, but yes, these are few motivational things which keep me going and keep me on toes.
Yeah, I think this is a great mix. Good entertainment from the movies and your well-being from the yoga, and also uh, the the mantras that you called out. I'm sure like it must be giving a lot of peace
Yeah,
in all of this hustle.
yeah.
Yeah. So, Bharti, now when we have spoken about your journey, we'll just do a little wordplay. So,
Sure.
I'll say three words, and whatever thought or whatever memory comes to your mind, you can share that.
Sure.
So, the first one, spark.
When I moved into the testing role, wherein I got very passionate about what the testing is and the whole life cycle of testing, and going into the details and breaking the system, that was the moment where it was a spark for me.
Yeah, I think this is where it all started.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
started.
yeah.
Yeah.
Breakthrough.
Breakthrough, yes. Situation where I was in a dilemma that what is it I could deliver and I could make a difference.
Hmm.
Value addition is the term which came to my mind, and we immediately picked up on an idea, innovated it, and immediately worked on the solution there, and it transformed the lives of the customer itself. So that was a breakthrough moment for me and my team.
Yeah, I think it must have been a very
The
delightful.
first, I can say, the
Yeah.
first innovation idea
Yeah.
which had come up with, and for many years, that idea or the tool was in the minds of various leaders as well. So definitely, it is a breakthrough moment.
Yeah. Cool. Trailblazer.
Um, Transitioning from QA to development, and also setting a path for my fellow teammates, that it is possible, it's doable, and it is feasible to move from one role to another, and you know and leaving that kind of footprint is that has been where I can where I can say that that has been a trailblazer moment for me.
I think you have made a legacy actually there.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So with all of this, I think we have to come to the last question of this podcast. If you have to give an advice to your 24-year-old self, what would it be?
Um, I would say be happy, be passionate, um, and be the risk taker, and be walk the talk. Um, and rest of the things will just follow, is what I feel. And if you're highly focused in what you want to pursue, um, things will come to you in that manner, and you are able to shine in your life. So that's what I would say.
To your older self?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And I think this is also a very relevant advice to all our viewers. This would definitely help even others who are in the same journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shefali, for having me. And it is definitely, reflection of me. And then the way you had asked the questions, it really inspired me. And thank you for what you are doing. It's a great way of encouraging women in tech to take this kind of a path and, shine in their careers.
Thank you so much, Bhati. Your journey is like very inspiring, and there are a lot of key takeaways that definitely I'll share and I'll sum it up. Thank you so much for spending your time with us.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. To sum it up, Bharti's journey is a reminder that growth is not just about climbing ladders. It's about knowing when to take a step back, explore, and rebuild. Um, Bharti's journey is not just about the personal growth. She has paved path to empower others. One of the biggest takeaways from her story is that you don't have to do everything alone. Seeking mentorship, building strong networks, and surrounding yourself with the right people who can open doors, provide guidance, and help accelerate your growth. And most importantly, don't ever let self doubt hold you back. Sometimes the biggest leaps happen when you start believing you can. Thank you, Bharti, for uh, bringing this perspective of embracing change, taking risks, and at the same time, seeking a support system. Thank you a lot for sharing your story.
Thank you,
Very
Shefali.
delighted to have you on this podcast.
Thank you, Shefali, for having me.
Yeah. And yes, if you like the episode, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep challenging, and keep powering up. Thank you.